So every single influencer seems to be saying that Perfect Order is a bad set still when it's come out. Now, you can have that opinion. Let's be honest, the internet is full of opinions. But let's talk about the potential of Perfect Order. If you are not I need to flip this really quickly and make some money. Let's look at that set compared to, for example, the last set that was considered a bad set in Shrouded Fable, and bad sets in inverted commas before that. And let's see how they're getting on and whether Perfect Order is a bad set that potentially, if you like it, you should pick up a few products of it. Let's take this example here and have a look at a booster box of Perfect Order that sold at the time of recording this video today for £165, let's say 169, all in with postage. That works out at about £4.70 a pack, which again is above retail, but not by much. Not by much at all. It's about 50p a pack above retail. It's the same with the half booster boxes. You're looking at about £4.72 per pack in these. Now, these are potentially a more reasonable one to just grab and put in your cupboard. This one actually went for even lower, £4.50 a pack. If somebody bought that at retail and tried to flip it, they didn't make much. And I'm not going to lie, this is where I think you need to, if you want Perfect Order, put your money in, because ETBs are sitting around nearly £70. But again, I do always recommend ETBs. They will climb, but these could crash before they climb just because the set is so volatile compared to other sets. If you haven't got a Pokemon Center Perfect Order ETB, though, I'd potentially say for 79 quid, I'd do it. I'd do it. One sold for 72 earlier. This could be the place. Everybody's chasing Ascended Heroes. Perfect Order's getting slept on. If it ends up being short printed, like we do see these less popular sets, guess what makes a popular set over time, friends? If you're new to the hobby, you won't agree with me. There'll be lots of people in the comments that are going, oh no, it's all Ascended. It's all Ascended, mate. That's fine. That is fine. I'll do what I've done for years and years and pick up a few bits that I just think, you know what, that's a nice set. Everybody else is sort of sleeping on it. Perfect Order strikes me as one of those, and already people are trying to set that up, that Chaos is going to be the same way. The last set that was deemed bad was Shrouded Fable. Let's just have a quick look at Seal products. Again, they've not gone to the moon, because Shrouded Fable, I actually do agree, was a bad set. They put all the best cards as promos, and we'll go into the cards in a second. But the ETB, Pokemon Center, is still 115 quid. It's actually rarer than Perfect Order ETBs. I assume we've upped printing since then. So it's a hard one to look at. But still, 115 quid. More than the 55, 60 it went for originally. Standard ETBs, you're looking around 90. So 90, again, for a standard ETB. Shrouded Fable, couple of years old now. You take it. Here's the thing with Shrouded Fable. The most expensive card currently is a Gold Energy, which is a little bit mental. That's the sign of a bad set. If you look at these, the Persian is really nice. The Duskull, Dusclops line, again, really nice, all the way up to Dust Noir. Monkey Dory is very playable. Again, I'm not a massive fan of that Pokemon. The Horsey card is a future grail. This, however, is accessible. It's accessible at $47, you can see here, but also it's getting printed in the gem sets currently. So you can get it in Chinese if you just want the art. We know English language does better over time. But again, when it's just you chasing for that, these cards will rise. Every Pokemon card has the gems that rise. The rises of this will probably be, all it takes is an influence to say that horse is really nice and it's going to the moon. I've got the Cassiopeia, which was a lot more when it was pulled than it is now. I think that's quite a cool card, a bit different to what we've seen. The Houndoom as well, for Houndoom collectors, top tier. But in general, the set's pretty poor. I'm not going to lie, the set's pretty poor. I really like the Zorora. The Zorora is really nice. And the Q-Fan, actually, I always do recommend the pickups. Look at that card. $11.73. Go and buy it. If you are relatively new to the hobby, it might be interesting to tell you some of the sets that, since I've been collecting, were deemed as bad sets. One of them is Steam Siege. I didn't like it when it came out. There was only like a Gardevoir in it that was decent. Do you want to see booster boxes for that now? They were grand. Of course they're great. It's Pokemon. People are different generations get into this hobby. That's what a lot of people coming into it don't understand. The fact that you can sort of open packs and have cards worth £100 immediately from new sets is a bubble like we've never seen. Maybe this bubble will never burst, but we've not seen that. That's not been a regular thing. That's a relatively new thing. If you look at the length of the hobby, this is it. Steam Siege, you could get them discounted for under £2 a pack. $2 a pack, whatever it is in the States where you're watching this, but the boxes are over $1,000 now. And okay, that might not be a fair example. That set's quite old, you know. It's over 10 years old now. Of course it's going to be worth money. Perfect Order will be 10 years old in 10 years, friends. Simple maths. I'll go to last generation, right? A bad set was Rebel Clash. I didn't like this set either. There's some really, really nice chase cards in there. But £388. It's not a massive rise. It's from last generation. But that is often argued to be the worst set of last generation. And that's close. You can already see the price that is at. We live in an era where streamers are ripping more product than ever. We're in a ripping culture. Even though Perfect Order is printed more than these sets were, it's also getting opened at a rate we've never seen before. The same with Ascended Heroes. Ascended Heroes is I don't see good things for us collectors unless we're buying the singles in that, to be honest. The ETB though, and this is the thing where I'm like, maybe you should get a Pokemon Center Perfect Order ETB because of the limited print of them. This is just a Pokemon Rebel Clash, not even Pokemon Center. They didn't do them back then. ETB, £234 sold. If you can pick a Pokemon Center ETB up for like 90 quid and you've got that disposable income, why wouldn't you? Also, money where mouth is. I bought this at retail. I bought 2. I opened one for you guys. You can go and watch that short. And I kept one because I'm a seal collector, not a scalper. There's a difference. I'm probably never going to sell my seals because I've collected them for years. People don't really understand what scalping means nowadays. But that's another topic for another video and another angry comment section. But if you are planning on selling it, you buy one of those now and in a couple of years, yeah, bit of money. Because I see Perfect Order a lot like Steam Siege, and arguably it's a better set. Let's look at Steam Siege. So Steam Siege has got this Gardevoir in. I would liken that Gardevoir, that's the most expensive card by the way, $86, and the booster boxes are still $1,000. Talk about how mad sealed is at the minute. I would liken that Gardevoir to something like the popularity of Meowth. This is the craziness as well. People are calling it a bad set. Meowth is $161. Right? You've seen the difference in the prices of booster boxes, right? And the chasers, that's double, nearly, what the big chase out of Steam Siege is. Bad sets, friends, come on. Some other highlights of Steam Siege again, a Gardevoir, the old Mega Attack style, which weren't Mega Attacks back then. Volcanion is the 3rd most expensive card in that set, and I think it's terrible. I don't like the Pokemon. That's why I didn't like Steam Siege, because Volcanion was a big part of it, but you might like that. I really like the Xerneas cameo, but $33 is the 3rd most expensive card in a booster box over $1,000. I am not a massive Mega Zygarde fan. I'm going to counteract that in a minute with a bit of hypocrisy, but we'll talk about it. I love these gold cards. I've held many of them in person. They catch the light differently in person. The scans look terrible. They don't do them justice. Pokemon now, within Perfect Order, has got a new rarity in these golds that's been in the past few mega sets. They could discontinue this. Pokemon discontinue this sort of rarity all the time. These golds are the best looking cards they've ever done as these hyper rares. In my opinion, it's all subjective. That's a bigger chase than anything in Steam Siege. This SIR alone, Mega Zygarde, is on par with that Gardevoir in Steam Siege for me. Money where my mouth is, I bought it. So I'm not just talking a lot, even though I talk a lot. Rosa cards have notoriously done well in Pokemon in the past as well, and there's not been too many of them. The fact that we've got an SIR rarity one here, you saw me pull this on the channel. It's one I'd be after in Perfect Order. Clefairy, one of our most recent pulls, is arguably up there for one of the best illustration rares of all time. It's amazing. And it connects to the Clefable SIR, even though Clefable scares me. There's something wrong with that Mega. And then, of course, you have illustration rares. We know the illustration rares that I'm not even going to show them. Dedenne, Rowlet, those likes. Never sleep on the cute Pokemon. Steam Siege had none of that. And the War of the Worlds S Starmie, that's going to be to some people's taste. I like the card. I'm not a massive, massive fan. But what I'm saying, the whole point of this is the chasers in this set are better than the chasers in a set like Steam Siege. And we've seen what that's done. They are better than a set like Rebel Clash, which is already at nearly £400 a booster box from last generation, where the biggest hit is a Giovanni, Boss's Orders. And we've just had Destined Rivals. Scarlet and Violet is feeding us well. And Mega Evolution is technically a new thing. And it's continued the trend, but added mega hyper rare, amazing gold cards. The bottom line is on Perfect Order, sealed is the way to go. There's so many hits in it. If you are an ROI boy, and your quick flips, and yeah, I'll sit there. I've seen a lot of people getting into the space. That, don't get me wrong, I'm a small channel. You'll see videos dating way back on this channel, but I am I'm a bit seasoned as a Pokemon collector. So I've seen all the market fluctuations, but I've seen people come in recently in the investment advice, and it's all short-term stuff. And maybe the hobby is changing that way. Ascended Heroes, definitely you can do stuff short-term. There's not a lot of money in it doing it that way with sealed. I will say that. A lot of people are putting stuff in cupboards, I know that, but a lot of it is also getting ripped. And I think the difference is because Pokemon is going into this quick flip, buy it, scalp it, I'll stop using the word scalper for those of you who get very upset. Buy it, flip it, it goes, right? The more that happens, and the more it's ripped, then the more that these sets will rise. And something like Perfect Order, the more packs you can get of that sealed as a genuine collector. If you like the set as well, by the way, because I am not going to buy the booster boxes because I've already got the hits I want out of it. There's no incentive for me there unless I was just trying to make money. And I'm not that sort of collector. I'm not just trying to make money over time. I've got a very nice collection. My collect wrap looks very nice, but I'm not going to just go and do that. But I know a lot of you do like to do that. You go, which booster boxes can I get as a little investment? Now these, you buy a couple of half boosters, you buy a booster box of Perfect Order, you put it in a cupboard. Come back to me in a couple of years. Let's see how it's got on. It might be a longer tail now because of the prints, but I do feel because it's of Ascended Heroes, because of the 30th that's coming up, this set, and most likely Chaos, are going to be in that middle ground where a lot of it is ripped and people are bored, and we're in a little dip where these sets do well on the back end rather than be immediate returns. So rip till your heart's content, do what you want to do at the end of the day, but there's just a little bit of history on some bad sets, which I like to call sleeper sets. But yeah, guys, we've gone over 500 subs. We are going to be giving away this sealed Mewtwo tin at 1,000 subs, so help us get there. We're on our way to it, and the giveies are just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger over time on this channel. So drop a sub, drop a like, and I'll see you on the next one.